I would like just to say something about this experience of infinite consciousness. When I was very young, at 14, I had a car accident. I was driving my small motorbike, and a truck just pushed me outside the road, and I just fell on the ground, and I just fell completely unconscious. And I saw myself, let's say, 8 meters on the air, looking my body, bloody body on the floor, and I was feeling an incredible state of peace and silence, no pain, everything was, like that. And I could see my body, and I just realized that I was not the body. I was not in the body. And it was a Saturday night. I was in a countryside, very dark, no lights, and I saw from this high, I was in a double curve, and a car was coming really fast. So I saw my body, and I saw the car coming, and say, well, the car will be on me, and I will die. So I just tried to get back into the body, and I just found myself like this, and I was feeling terrible pain. The teeth was broken, and I just rolled on the ground, and the car was just moving just near by me. And after that experience, I was kind of shocked and say, well, I experienced something that I was not absolutely expected. And I started to study, everything was connected with consciousness. So by chance, because we call it still chance, I just found books on yoga, on meditation, on Yogananda, Krishnamurti, many masters, and I started to read them, and I started immediately to practice meditation. At 18 years, I just started to have experience of a deep state of meditation. And I was, I have a scientific mind, so I don't, it's not enough for me to have an experience. I want even to clear why it's happening, what are the scientific structure, and was absolutely difficult. I show you something that maybe can help. I believe that consciousness cannot be explained yet. We can explain some effect of consciousness. I mean, it should be larger like that, but it doesn't work. So I started to study biology, and I started to study how the small quantum particles get together in order to create a higher unity of consciousness. I always believe, and then I studied many scientists, the proto-consciousness of Whitehead, the holistic field of David Bohm, or the father of quantum physics. They were speaking about consciousness as behind our living, let's say, material world, there is a deep information state. We can call it Akasha, we can call it God, we can call it consciousness. And from that consciousness, everything grows and exchanges. White hole, black holes, but even particles appear and disappear, sometimes in a very short period of time. And it's like appearance, life and death. And everything is moving. Nothing is definitely in physics. The principle of Heisenberg indetermination principle. So why things are growing? Because there is a kind of consciousness, let's say, information. And then working with physicists, Italian physicists, we discovered that out of coherent pattern, there is an exchange of information between single particles. Particle is information, is energy, is informed energy, intelligent energy. we are made out of trillions of small particles of intelligent energy. And let's try for a second to be really materialistic. So nothing exists, no consciousness, no other world, no God, no anything. So I'm a bunch of trillions of atoms that are made out of small quantum particles. And if I am alive, means that those particles, those quantum of informed energy are alive. If I am conscious, that means that those particles have a little bit, a tiny bit of consciousness, of sensitivity, of intelligence. And so we see that out of an atom get together, the coherence, atomic quantum coherence, get them able to create a pattern of organization, information, and then a quantum jump in evolution. They create the first cell that is an incredible world, 100 billion atoms in a single cell, and they are working together, exchanging information, meaning working outside, inside, changing their own DNA, RNA. They are able to do something that we human beings in this earth, we are only few billion people, are not yet able to coordinate and to create a common pattern, a common project. We can call it global society, global civilization. They did it, atom did it. And cells, they create unicellular. Remember just that. Inside our brain we are full of chemicals that are dopamine, serotonin, endorphin. Even unicellular beings are full of endorphin, of dopamine, of serotonin. So they are little brain cells, cells that are able to elaborate and use information in a very intelligent, appropriate way. We call it evolution, adaptation. No? And they grow out of complexity in a very complex way. They create the first multicellular being and then the first real animal. And the first animal is an incredible amount of single cell, but all the cells have the same DNA, the same storage of consciousness, the same tools of information. It's like having the capacity to understand that every cell is working in local, but is global. So it's exactly what we are trying to do in this planet in this moment. And single living multicellular being are creating then a human being, and human being has covered all planet. And we are creating networks, internet, every kind of exchange of information, but we are near, but not yet in a global network. Maybe we can jump and make a jump into planetary consciousness, and we hope we could do such an incredible jump in evolution. But I would like just to go ahead and see the brain is moving, is growing, sometimes really fast. Just remember that if it's by chance, the evolution by chance means that as much a system, a living system, is getting into complexity, into a higher level of organization complexity, the capacity to become more complex is slowing down. It's like if you take a monkey on a computer and say, okay, just use the computer. Maybe out of 10 experience, maybe there is a word, I don't know, water or bed. But if you expect to see many words, the Divina Commedia, out of a monkey play, you should wait maybe eons, because it's more difficult. In the intelligent evolution, we see exactly the contrary. As much as we become more complex, we increase the level of information computing, information consciousness, information organization. Let's see the brain. The first structure in our brain is the reptilian brain. It is leading basically instinct and body consciousness. And there is a center, Paxet pointed out that the periaqueductal brain is the center of body self, instinctual body self. We all, our identity, our self is growing out of consciousness, atomic, instinctive consciousness. This is our base consciousness. And then there is the limbic system, the emotional system, with a center that is the thalamus, that is basically the center of emotional consciousness. If we surgically remove or touch the thalamus, we provoke coma. The consciousness, if we touch the thalamus, if we remove part of the thalamus, we go directly into coma, no more consciousness. The neocortex, the mental consciousness, we can remove a big area of this upper brain without being unconscious. Maybe we are less able to elaborate social information. We have less tool to live in a global complex society, but we don't lose consciousness. So consciousness is not just a part of the brain, but actually is normal consciousness, the whole network, the neural network, exchanging information. And I would like to say, because we studied for 30 years EEG, and one day we just were together with some friend, physicists and doctor, and we say, well, why don't we try to put electrode all around the body? So we get we just get all the electrode in the body. And we saw that the body, I mean, the brain is definitely the organ that is elaborating information. But the whole body is elaborating information too, in a less, slower level of complexity. Each of our white blood cells have all the receptor and neurotransmitter of the brain. So we are a thinking body, an intelligent living body. The brain, more intelligent, more capacity to compute information. But the brain, when we study, I will show you in a while, when we study the coherence between the brain areas, we discovered that basically we are living in a 30, 40%, 60%, when the people feel really well, 60% of brain coherence, mainly between the two hemispheres, F1, F2, and between the T point in the lateral side of the brain. When we reach a state of consciousness, this coherence rises up. It's like this, no? It's like the energy, the information exchange that is electromagnetic, that is light, is a photon-like quantum of a higher exchange of information, rise up to 80, 90, near to 100%. And we are feeling open. We are feeling not just closed inside our skin, our body. And we feel like the body structure are getting like they are no more physical, they are energetic, the energy is expanding. And energy means informed energy, intelligent energy, conscious energy. So let's see some, this is our deep study in all brain area connected to left sympathetic charge or parasympathetic. And out of this we can cure people in a psychosomatic, psychiatric way in at least 3 times faster than before. After we use this map, we are getting really much easier in therapy, in diagnosis and in clinic, because we understand the real structure of the conscious, emotional, physical and mental conscious of people. And the self is at the center, body self, emotional self, conscious self, one consciousness. But let's see this point. When the part periaqueductal gray out of the subcortical midline system north of pancreas goes in tune and synchronization with the thalamus, and the thalamus, the core of the emotional self, is going out using the cortical midline system, get in touch with the higher neocortical brain. We are the best of the synchronization, the feeling of oneness. And this is exactly the same all traditions have represented in their own psychosomatic spiritual medicine. And this is health. We are absolutely dealing with good health, good psychosomatic global health, global wellness. But I'm not working just for that. My work is like to help people to realize the state of consciousness that I did experience. And out of this first car accident, I start to do meditation, and many times I start to feel the opening of my consciousness. I remember once I was just watering a vegetable in a garden, and all of a sudden I was not more Nitamo with water, vegetable. I was the whole thing. It was like just my consciousness was getting a big bowl of information, of consciousness. It was like I could see myself from many points of view. Like I was, the eye were all over the place. And I felt just a moment of beauty, of being together with this little piece of nature, of existence. I was not divided. I was one with life and the sun, through the lives, to the living being, to the... Everything was alive. And I remember once I was in India, I got into that state, and I was getting out of this meditation, and I was in this open space, and I don't know if you have been ever 30, 40 years ago in India, it was very dirty. The road was full of, let's say, everything, junk, pee, cow shit, I mean, everything, poor people, everything. And I was just in that place feeling, wow, that's absolutely beautiful. I mean, if I could have a screw, I was just cleaning the whole road, but even like that, I mean, God was there, let's say. There was something so meaningful, so perfect as it was. And I was so gratitude for being there, for existing. And I was living in the United States for 3 years. Once first I was in San Francisco Bay Area writing for a book, and then I moved in Oregon. And one day it was winter time, it was 10 degrees under zero, I was completely packed, and all of a sudden it was midday, and I was just walking to the snow, and all of a sudden I was in a valley, and I was the whole valley, few kilometers. So before I was in a small bowl, and then I was in a giant state, and my breath was stopped. My heart was kind of, I couldn't feel it exactly, but was suspended. And I could feel this light. Everything was alive in this light. The ground, the sky, planet, everything, mountains, hills, the river. And I was just there. And everything was one consciousness. And I was... this aha experience was like, wow. And after, I don't know how long I was in that space, I come back and I say, I understand. Everything is alive. There is something that we cannot see but exists. I don't know then how to call it. It's like inside the material world there is consciousness, inside the consciousness there is a material world. The concept of David Bohm of the universe that is implicate order, explicate order, was completely merging to oneness. And I felt so that my life, I was in a moment that was not very healthy and not even very happy, but was so precious that I just tried to find how to get healed, and this is the first point, but how to get healed in order to open at least a little bit our consciousness to something that we can really call it infinite consciousness. And I start to study, I start William James, I start Burke, I start many people, many spiritual masters of all tradition that have experienced something like me, like Yogananda. Yogananda at a certain point is like the universe. Well, I just felt one valley and it was already fantastic. He opened to planetary experience, universal experience. So there is still something that I can experience, fantastic, no? It's a very, very interesting life. But this is an opportunity. So, how we can open this system? And this system is exactly the same as the 7 chakra of Indian tradition, Ida, Pingala, the chakras. It's exactly the same thing as Chinese Dantian, Renmai, Dumai, the 3 Dantian, Tantien. And it's the same of the 5 chakra of the Tibetan tradition. And I just was wondering how this electromagnetic field we could help people to open more this field. We discover something, that people that are sick, that are in the mind have a specific quality, maybe good in some situation, maybe less important in other situations, to feel that I am one and I am divided from the whole. And I have to take care of myself. And this is the basic of life, otherwise we don't survive. I need to eat, and there is some danger, I escape, or I fight, or I try to live according to existence. And I have to take care of me, of myself, as separate in some way from existence. But in situations that are not in danger, why not to open? We should learn how to open. Sometimes to close and get really in a defensive mood, and if then there is nothing to be, to defend, we can open. And the field, the quantum field we are creating is going to infinite dimension, is one with the whole. And I show you some picture. Brain coherence, normal photons, coherent photons. Normal brain wave. We start this experiment in 91. I was experiencing this meditation consciousness state. So I went back to Italy. I found a friend, an engineer, electronic engineer, said, well, I want an electroencephalographer that is able to compute, to elaborate 2 kinds of information. Coherence. We developed the Pearson coherence, and to see all the waves, the fast Fourier transformation. So he did it. And because I felt that in myself, when I was doing meditation, the difference that I had, my mind, my emotional feelings and my body stuff were no more divided. And I discovered that when we were meditating, maybe 10,000 people, I did years meditating 5, 10, 15,000 people. And the feeling was like no more island, no more separation, feeling of big lake of ocean of consciousness. So I say, well, the only thing I can understand is coherence, because I knew already the holographic paradigm of... so, 2 waves completely coherent in phase of position, like a mirror light, or completely non-coherent. Look at just some picture. in meditation, during mother-children, in a relationship. And let's see, in working, this is a businessman, girl, woman that was completely stressed. The coherence, this is the theta, delta, alpha, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. We didn't have the gamma yet. And the brainwave on the left side of the rational side, we're going basically like this, out of your head. No? And coherence between the two hemispheres is basically 0. In meditation, we reach up to 95. And look at that. Harmonic waves, like a brain instrument, like a musical instrument. And then we saw that we did 430 people with psychological test of depression, severe depression, 20% coherence, mild depression, normal light depression, that means every day of our life, 50%, and 60% normal people, meditator, 80%, normal life, without being meditation, just staying normal. So we say this is the basic tool for what we are doing. Let's see some aspect between consciousness. What we call it coherence, when we call like entanglement, is not just at the quantum level. We are the quantum level. We are made out of the quantum particle. So if my body, her body is in tune, remember, good vibration, good vibration, fantastic. And see, two people, the two left brain cross the coherence between left of the first subject and the second, and left of the first subject, 0. In meditation, from the two left and the two brain, 84, 78, with eyes closed, so is not concerned with Rizzolatti neurons. People didn't know even that they were studying the cross brain between each other. Ma coherence in a collective group, collective coherence, and each person can be absolutely on their own field. This is one brain wave for each person. And then we see after 10 minutes meditation, the brain coherence. So we can exchange information, coherence, we can exchange feeling. We can be, let's say, learn to be more in a oneness spirit. And this is the scientific demonstration that consciousness is not inside just our brain. When we study and we show this experiment at the University in Milan, they laughed. They said, well, this is nothing, this is just a coincidence or something great in your electromagnetic apparatus. This is impossible. And we saw for doing this experiment, we were doing with batteries, and we were switching off the whole electrical system of the whole house, so not to have any influence from external. And people start to see that he is absolutely right. I remember here in Bagni di Lucca came the BBC television troupe with Peter Fenwick. I don't know, was one of the main experts on meditation and brain waves, and so 2 days he took our scientific apparatus and open, and he did 2 days experiment to see if the machine was working in the right way. After 2 days, say, okay, the machine is working well, the guys are saying the right thing. I mean, they say the truth. So we did the transmission. But let's go back to single person, because we cannot experience a very higher state of expansion in a group. We cannot experience a good feeling, a good connection, a feeling of oneness in a group. But then we have to evolve individually. And we learn that even children, if they only you give them, we are doing this Gaia project, teaching children as far as young people or adults, the more simple information how to become self-conscious. Just relax, feel your breath, and feel your field, your wholeness, your whole body, mind, spirit system. And they are just jumping into it. And in a few minutes they are getting to that space because it's natural space, it's not an altered state of consciousness. It's our consciousness that is global. And how we become connected with the whole. How the single consciousness can become more aware and experience, not thinking. Thinking, we know that we are part of a whole. But the San Francesco in Italy experienced something that was tremendous. It's like fratello sole, sorella luna, brother sun and sister moon, and water and everything was alive and was part of a spectacular, immense world of consciousness of our living beings. And we are connected. So we discover that people, when they are not in an ego state, that this is me, and they are open up, they can easily feel the whole body, and the whole body have the experience of the whole body, the whole electromagnetic quantum field, is like we open with top and with the earth. It's like, let's go back one, it's like in Indian Buddhist tradition, we can open the first chakra to the heart and feeling our body connected with the stuff of the earth, with the material, because material is God. Everything is conscious. So the planetary, physical, material consciousness, opening this and feeling to be physical part of this immense planet, Gaia experience. Or sometimes we can open up the top, the crown chakra, and then you experience the celestial dimension, the more subtle dimension. So we are ourselves, we are Mother Earth, giving body and all material stuff. Let's say Father Sky, Father Space, that is giving us a subtle intensity of consciousness. And this is the yin-yang. This is old Indian tradition of Shiva Shakti, the polarity. And we discovered that there are people, if you study Maslow, Assagioli, or many other we have several books in Italy and in English that are connecting to many people that have experienced something immense, an immense state of connection with existence through every possible situation, in war, in danger, a near-death experience. We collect many tenths of experience of people falling from a mountain and saying, well, I died. And all of a sudden, in this little bit of time, they were falling down and they were experiencing exactly what you were feeling. Their life, all of a sudden, was passing in front of their consciousness. And then the feeling of existence, the time was slowing down. It's like, wow. And then, an incredible crunch, and those people, exactly like in the near-death experience, when I'm coming back and say, I didn't have any more fear to live or to die. There is something absolutely behind us, even if I have maybe all my body completely broken in bones. So we discovered that people, once I asked Erwin, did you ever experience something like, let's say, God or something? And he told me some moment of experience of understanding. When Einstein was dealing with equation, quantum. He was in alpha state. He was probably in a meditative state. Through mind, many people have experienced the divine and another state of consciousness. Some people by singing. Some people, Nijinsky was feeling to be in a space of wonder while he was dancing in a theater. People with the heart, loving. There was a beautiful research published in Newsweek magazine many years ago, at least 15 or 20 years ago. And they say most of the American population felt something wild than ourselves, maybe when the children was burning, or maybe making love, or sometimes in sadness, because the feeling was of togetherness, even with the sadness of people being there together. Some people have felt the same during the tsunami in India. I was there. I was on a beach with and when we were happy not to be involved in a higher wave, so we survived. But we open the heart, and even through the opening of the heart, we can get into intelligent infinity. And some people can get through tantra, to sexual energy. Some people can get to the divine, to material, peaceful existence, just being, without doing anything. In Buddhism, they call these guys arhata. They don't have any need to share anything. They just, enjoy the stay. And some people say, it's beautiful just to be near this guy or this person, because there is a field of beauty, of silence. So we really would like to open more, at least just to feel that this planet can be sleeping or can be meditating. And just to feel, to make people, children, in the Gaia project, in the last 3 years, we reached more than 15,000 children in all schools of Italy. And the children, the young people, the university student or the adult, were just in 12 hours of teaching, 1 hour a week, like a normal course. In 3 months, they felt just a feeling to be part of this planet, a feeling to get in touch with the group coherence. And I really believe that this is just the very, very beginning of a science of consciousness. And now we are living a couple of years of economical translation, let's say, in a good word. I mean, we have some trouble on economical word, but probably by the end of the next year we can get back to normal economical potentiality, and we can expand more research, scientific research, proving and studying the field around the people, how it's moving, and how the different practice can open this potentiality of human being. We believe that if people feel their own wholeness and holiness, that are basically the same thing, the deep core of essence of being, they cannot be anymore in war or in aggressivity with each other. And you know that in basically all the countries of the world there are people meditating. If you just try mindfulness South Africa, or mindfulness China, mindfulness India, or mindfulness Australia, every country has some people that are working, and mindfulness is just one of the many practices that can help us to go in this direction. So in order to move to a future for humanity, for certain, I would like a peaceful future, a sustainable future, but I definitely would like to add a more conscious future, because this is the real gap, the real jump we can do into a future for ourselves and for our children. Thank you.